I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Rakak Wadash. Double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone wow, and which taught us the truth is Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abba babal. All right, so the Walmart CEO issues stark 2-week warning over prices and empty shelves. All right, so you can look this up for yourself. All right, it says empty shelves, quote, as customers brace for new fees. So the cost is going to be more and you're going to have empty shelves. All right, you see that? And we've been warning you, all right, by the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, that famine will come to the land of America, Babylon the Great, who are to be destroyed according to the prophecies and will be fulfilled when Yahushai returns. But before that, they're going to make an implantable microchip mandatory for buying and selling. And they need chaos to push this implantable microchip as mandatory for buying and selling. And they're going to push it as a promise of bringing you peace. But in fact, it's going to condemn the Israelite that takes it. All right. It says in 2 Esdras 15, verse 16, 2 Esdras 15, verse 16, for there shall be sedition, which means they're going against their government. They're speaking against their government, which that's why you just had a judge arrested. It says, among men and invading one in another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, which is their politicians, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So the Lord's going to give them a heart to fight their own government. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And remember, Trump just declared an order, a state of an emergency at the border, which they pretty much turned the border between America and Mexico into a military base. All right, it says, for because of their pride of the so-called white race that rules the world using America, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, which it tells you that they're going to go into the houses and spoil your goods, including your families. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. It says, Zechariah 14, verse 2, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem, which are the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which are here in America prophesying, to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and women and women ravished, which they're going to have their way with these women. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity. They're going to go into FEMA camps. And the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Let me see what that says in the NLT. It says, I will gather all nations to fight against Jerusalem. The city will be taken, the houses looted, and the women raped. Half the population will be taken into captivity, and the rest will be left among the ruins of the city. All right. Another one, Isaiah 13. It says, and verse 11, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man, which this is a man of the Lord, more precious than fine gold. which you have the prophecy of all the women, searching us out because we're going to be stable in this time of trouble. Even a man more, it says, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So the way they searched out gold in America, that's how they're going to search for the elect men. Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger, and it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people. So they're going to flee from America, which I did a sit down on that, and you already have Elam the Persian, the East Indian. All right, they're reporting that they used to come here to America. Now they're returning, and they're returning to their land, fleeing out of America because it's such a dangerous place. It's so expensive, and really, it's only going to get worse here. So they're fleeing out of this place because America is about to be destroyed by nuclear missiles. But before that, when they bring forth this implantable microchip and make it mandatory, they're going to cause a great tribulation. All right? It says in verse 15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, which is going to get so bad out here, they're going to cannibalize. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword, which if you take that implantable microchip, you will be condemned with it, and you will die by the nuclear destruction, which they were given a great sword, that nuclear missile. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Let's go to the NLT. It says, their little children will be dashed to death before their eyes. Their homes will be sacked, and their wives will be raped. All right? And that's what's going to cause these things, is the great tribulation that's going to be brought by the so-called Caucasian, making that implantable microchip mandatory for buying and selling. Revelation 13, verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which Yahweh Yahushai gave Esau power to take peace from the earth. So he's created a beast system. The image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's where we're heading, to pretty much where they're going to say that they have the right to kill you if you do not cooperate. And he causeth all, both small and great, and rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which is the implantable microchip. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, the implantable microchip, the mark of the beast, or the number of the beast, or the number of his name, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which it goes into the Greek chi xi stigma, which goes into the implantable microchip and the syringe that is used to do it, which carves out a chunk of flesh to put the microchip in. It engraves in your skin. All right. And it goes back into the history of how they came up with the implantable microchip. It went from branding to eventually barcode system, and then eventually the implantable microchip. All right. Which if you accept that, you're going to be condemned to the lake of fire, which is the nuclear destruction of America. It says in Revelation 14:9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which Yahushai is the Lamb, which he was sacrificed. He died and was resurrected, and now he lives forever and shall never die again. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night. So them that take that implantable microchip, all right, it even shows you in these movies when they get that device put inside them, they're not allowed to rest. All right, they're gonna have a horrible existence for that period of time. Who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name, which is the implantable microchip. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahushai. Once again, keep means to protect, to keep pure, to observe as something of value, extreme value. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, right, blessed are the dead, which we don't have to be afraid if we die, which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. And then pretty much they're going to be able to sacrifice a few of us, but what's going to come upon them is nuclear destruction. And it's going to turn America, aka Babylon the Great, into a lake of fire, which it's going to devour the flesh of America, which is its citizens. And this is prophesied in the Holy Scriptures. And the nuclear missiles are going to come from your allies and enemies. NATO nations and BRIC nations are prophesied to become confederate, which they were confederate with you, but they're going to backstab you and shoot nuclear missiles upon you. It says in Obadiah verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. You get that in the NLT. It says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. See, and that's talking about America, which is the kingdom of Edom, the so-called white race. All right, and it's because the Lord is against you. All right, and he's going to destroy you, as it says in Obadiah. It says in verse 3, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, that thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. So you fulfill all these prophecies. You use the eagle to symbolize you. When you claim you touched the moon, you said the eagle landed. All right. And even though you set your nest among the stars, you got a space force, you got satellites among the stars. Thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. So Yahweh is going to send his son Yahushua, and he's going to bring your whole entire existence to nothing. All right. This judgment was created for the Edomites and their military, which is going to be gathered together in the valley of Jehoshaphat to be destroyed by fire at the return of Yahushua. All right. So them that try to help the Edomite or hope for the Edomite, they're going to be destroyed with the Edomite. All right. But with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha Rakah Kwadash, double honors to our apostle elders, which rule great millstone wall, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abal babal.